So I don't know if this is interesting. You know the way you know what people say when they watch clips of this type of thing that we're doing now on TikTok. You know what they say in the comments?
Yeah.
We need to start taxing podcast equipment. They do
Yeah,
that. They
yeah.
say, "Oh, Trump should put tariffs on podcast equipment."
Yeah.
Because basically everybody has a podcast. Nobody's anything to say,
Yeah.
and everybody's talking at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we already have our equipment. You can't stop us now.
But you know, it's so funny. I was in the pub last night and a guy was telling me, nice guy, probably, but he was telling me about these clubs in Berlin. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, Berlin is like a famously degenerate shithole. Sorry, like, it is so bad, Berlin. And I know people like degenerate shitholes, but it's not my taste, okay?
Yeah.
Even at my worst, I would not have been interested in this type of carry on.
Yeah.
Do you know about Berlin?
Yeah, it's a nightclub, open all night, kind of take drugs kind of thing.
Way worse. It's a nightclub open all night, take drugs, everybody's nude, everybody's having sex in a nightclub in the same room you're in.
Yeah.
They're having sex like animals. Like animals.
Yeah.
Okay, and like if you say that that's kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? You're possibly considered prudish.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, if you put any limitation on human behavior that is none of your business, and you simply comment that's fucked up, you're prudish. Is that true?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What do most people think? Like, what do people think who don't go to live in Berlin? Like, do they think, oh, I'd like to do that, but I'm just not gonna? Is that what they think?
There's absolutely no way, like 80% of people wouldn't do that and don't want to do it. And so some of them might say, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was saying to this guy when this was coming up, one of them's called the Kit Kat Club and one of them's called something else. And I was like saying to this guy, God, like, I was probably saying something politely like, listen, what's that about?
Yeah.
And he said, you wouldn't want to do that. And I was thinking to myself and going, you know what? When I was younger, I did kind of do stuff like that in the sense of like party, drunk, skinny dipping, girls, guys, everybody's nude. I did that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wouldn't do that anymore. I find that a bizarre question, like, actually. To be asked at 35 why you don't want to do the same things you do at 21 confesses, like, the fact that, like, you're just supposed to stay the same forever under liberalism.
Yeah.
And I want to live in a liberal society, actually. I like people making different types of art. I like people expressing themselves. I want to be able to buy products. I like freedom of religion and so on. But like, as far as a spiritually, liberalism has absolutely nothing to offer you. You get nothing out of that.
Yeah.
Do what you want when you want.
Yeah.
You'll be happy.
Yeah.
No restrictions, you'll be happy. The reason why you're unhappy is because you have restrictions. Express yourself,
Yeah, whereas once you do something like that, you realise it's just not what it's cracked up to be, like, don't you? Well, that's what I realised. I don't know, maybe not everyone.
Well, what it led me to was like the pits of hell.
Yeah.
So I'm always interested in people who are still not like vehemently opposed to freedom.
Yeah.
I'm only joking. I'm pro freedom, but I'm just going, like, they're still more or less in that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they might have tried stuff that they wouldn't do again, but they're not like... Anyway, I'm always interested in that. I was looking at this guy and I was looking in his eyes.
Yeah.
And I saw almost like a prisoner. Like, you know, when somebody is so sure about what they're doing,
Yeah.
in terms of like, maybe they take drugs, drink alcohol, have promiscuous sex and all this stuff, and they're so sure about it that that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I never had that certainty. I always had a nagging, like, I don't like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
makes me feel like pain type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of the greatest qualities to have. Whether it's an
Yeah,
extra bit
yeah.
of sensitivity or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing this stoner come into a party once, and he was like rolling a joint after work, and he was like a big stoner, kind of a loser. But because he was so sure that it was legendary to smoke weed, all the girls wanted him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he just had that kind of an aura.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always interested and scared of people who are captive by it.
Yeah.
And they totally are like devout followers of like hedonism.
Yeah. Yeah.
They freak me out a bit. They scare me slightly.
Yeah.
They're not uncertain at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
yeah. I'm confused by them. Like when I meet people like that, like it makes me realize that, like, wow, I don't know what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. Like,
Yeah.
I really only know myself. Like,
Yeah.
but there must be some. Yeah, there must be some real, like, kind of mental block there that's allowing them to stay in that. It can be life enduring as well. Like, these people can stay in that mindset for life though as well, can't they?
Obviously, and there must be a lot of fear in like, who will I be if I give it up?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
There's total fear
Yeah.
and like, it's you know, of course, like that's where all the good stuff is, you know, on the other side of fear. But fear is a bitch. I mean, it's almost like when you look into somebody's eyes and they're captive by that,
Yeah.
their wish, their what's that word? Like their vices and all that.
Yeah.
They really are like captive, kind of by a demon, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when you actually sit in fear for long enough and you relax in fear like this, it can almost look like the Exorcist scene, like with the little girl, like not quite like snot coming out of the nose, but maybe.
Yeah.
But like you can actually physically start to shake
Yeah.
when it's like leaving you. Like if you relax in all those feelings instead of medicating them, obviously they do leave, but like you can literally physically start to shake like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of saw when I looked in his eyes, was like, ouch, prisoner.
Yeah.
And I'm a prisoner too, obviously, and so are you, presumably, in terms of, you know, vices and that. But, yeah, I'm glad I didn't have a clue. I'm glad I knew when I was younger that something big was wrong with me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was,
yeah.
but I'm glad I knew that.
Yeah. I think as well, something just occurred to me there. Like, I think when you live in this way where you celebrate your vices and that's kind of who you are, I think you get a feeling of, this makes me special. You know, this makes me different. This makes me interesting. And if I give this up, I'll be boring. I'll be nothing. Like, you know.
It's like Jim Morrison or something.
Yeah.
It's like Jim Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's as well, there's a bit of programming going on about the most interesting people live the fastest, most exciting lives.
Yeah.
And they're kind of troubled and they write songs and they do all this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that Jim Morrison died in a bathtub when he was 27 or whatever he did, I don't know how he died, but he's died when he was 27 of drugs, I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't like contradict that at all
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
for these kind of, for this narrative, like,
Yeah.
even though it's a glaring contradiction.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Pete Doherty, who I really admired when I was 16.
Mm.
And he's known to be a great lyricist, and he was on heroin and he was in the Libertines.
Yeah.
And one lyric he wrote once, which I probably liked when I was 16, was, "If you've lost your faith and love in music, then the end won't be long." It's from a song called The Good Old Days.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that lyric the other day, and I thought, what the fuck is that? That doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what
yeah.
is that? And it's a really is a damning confession of liberalism's inability to provide spiritual sort of kind of medicate, like any spirit. Liberalism is no answer for spiritual malaise. And Pete already confesses it. He goes, if you give up your hobbies, or whatever. Like, what does that mean? If you've lost your faith and love in music, if you don't do your hobbies, you'll be sad. Even though he was doing his hobbies and he was on heroin.
Yeah, yeah.
So his hobby was heroin, so they don't have like, he's supposed to be this, like, he was the poet of that generation.
Yeah.
And that's what the shit he was coming out with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That meaningless crap.
Yeah.
And people are singing it all together. And it's just words. And I used to kind of read these lyrics wanting to know what they meant. And some people would have really smart, like, interpretations of the lyrics. And I go, shit, why don't I able to understand what lyrics mean before I'm told?
Yeah.
And now I realize it's because they don't mean anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, so Sally can wait. I hope it's too late or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
These people don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, yeah.
And young people are all there together in a field, worshipping them.
And I'd say these artists know it's shit as well. Like, they're like, they're just writing this like, that doesn't mean shit, but it sounds good.
I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, we stopped talking because